Hello and welcome. Wherever you're joining us from around the world, we're glad you're here. I'm Alin Bailey, Senior Director of Brand and Communications at Smart Recruiters. What we're launching today isn't a new product. It's a new foundation for hiring. We're streaming this live because the pressure to hire smarter, faster, and more efficiently, well, that's a global reality. And the current tools, well, they're just not cutting it. The truth is, most hiring systems today were never designed for today's world. They weren't built for remote work, complex corporate hiring, high volume hiring, or even the fast-moving markets we all live in. They certainly weren't built with AI or people in mind. So we're starting over. What would hiring look like if we rebuilt it from scratch? If we centered it on real users, recruiters, hiring managers, candidates, and gave them tools that actually work together? Over the next 45 minutes, you're going to see the answer. You'll get an inside look at SmartOS, the engine behind everything we've built. You'll meet Winston, our AI-powered interaction layer that turns hiring complexity into confident action. You're also going to see recruiting AI that shows up where it matters, creating better, faster experiences for every user in the process. We'll also share some groundbreaking work that we've done to make our tech not only simple to use and own, but simple to buy. We're introducing a modern, transparent pricing and packaging framework that aligns to outcomes, not guesswork. So, buckle up. This is the future, and this is what the future of hiring looks like. To kick us off, here's our SVP of Product, Sharon Yaroslawski.
Thanks, Elaine. Let's start with a simple question. If you had to design hiring from scratch today, would you build what you're using now? Most talent leaders say no, and they're right, because most hiring systems were built for a very different era, before remote work, before talent scarcity, before recruiting AI. That's why we didn't just patch the old model, we replaced it. We reimagined what hiring could look like, and then we built it. Intelligence embedded at every layer, orchestration that adapts to a real world, guidance in the flow of work, a connected architecture designed for speed, complexity, and change. This is recruiting AI, designed from the ground up. But this isn't AI for show. It's AI that shows up when and where it matters. We didn't chase what looks impressive in demos. We obsess over what solves real human problems. We partnered with the AI leaders. We listened, we pushed, we built. And we made the hard decisions others won't, so your team can move fast, stay smart, and stay in control. And the results speak for themselves. So you can see 75% reduction in manual screening, 50% faster time to interview, 60% faster time to hire, automation usage double in 1 quarter, and more than 40% increase in hiring manager satisfaction. At the center of it all is SmartOS, our new experience and orchestration layer, and Winston, your intelligence guide through every stage of the hiring journey. Together, they help recruiters, hiring managers, and candidates move faster with more clarity and confidence. We also rethought how we package and price our platform to align with outcomes and our customer success. Because transformation should be simple to use, simple to own, and yes, simple to buy. Now, let's show you what that looks like in action. To walk you through the design behind the experience and how we've made powerful technology beautiful simple, please welcome Shefali.
Hi, I'm Shefali Netke, VP of Design here at Smart Recruiters. Today is a big moment for us, and for me personally. I've been with Smart Recruiters for almost a decade, and I've never been more excited about what we're building and how we're building it. Winston isn't just a feature. It's a reflection of everything we've learned about how hiring should work and everything we've reimagined through the power of AI. And that's largely thanks to our incredible design partners. 18 of our customers have brought their recruiters, hiring managers, and HR leaders to the table and helped us bring Winston to life. They didn't just give us feedback, they helped shape the product with us, from initial concepts to hands-on testing. So for me and the entire SmartRecruiters team, thank you. You've been our creators, our truth tellers, and our North Star in this process. Designing for AI is a new frontier. It's not just about flashy features. It's about making technology feel human, trustworthy, and intuitive. Our design partners have helped us make sure that every click, every suggestion, and every interaction with Winston feels natural and genuinely helpful. You'll always know when AI is in play. You'll always stay in control, and that's very much by design. And yes, AI has helped us design as well. We've used tools like Dovetail to process feedback faster, platforms like Bubble.io and Lovable to help us build fully customized prototype in just a matter of minutes. That means we could test Winston in a factory in Germany in the morning and a sneaker store in France later that afternoon. That's what happens when you design for AI with AI. But designing with AI isn't enough. We had to earn your trust, and to do that, we went further. Because when AI starts helping you make decisions about people, the stakes get higher. And that's why, alongside design innovation, we built in something just as essential: accountability. To talk about how we're building safety, transparency, and governance into Winston, I want to introduce someone who's been leading that charge, our SVP of Engineering, Michal Novak.
At SmartRecruiters, we've always believed that hiring is one of the most human decisions a company can make. And as we build AI to support that process, one thing is clear: trust isn't optional, it's everything. We are working in a cross-functional team that includes engineers, legal experts, AI specialists, and most importantly, our customers. We created our Design Partners program and AI Trust and Safety Committee to connect with real practitioners from across the globe. They are helping us pressure test our designs against real-world complexity. Every new feature, every AI use case, every new automation we ship goes through a thorough review. We ask, is it ethical? Is it explainable? Is it fair? Can the people using it and the candidates affected by it trust what it's doing and why? This isn't just internal best practice. It's part of why we are recognized by leaders like Gartner, IDC, and Lighthouse Research, not just for product innovation, but for our commitment to compliance, fairness, and AI that works in the real world. We know that AI can't be magic. It has to be measurable, and it has to be built in ways that respect people, their data, their dignity, and their decisions. Trust is not a feature, it's our foundation. And we're proud to lead the way in building secure, responsible AI for the future of hiring.
All right, and now it's your turn. Winston is here to help your teams move faster, feel more confident, and fall in love with hiring again. Thank you for being part of this journey.
We know that AI is changing the game when it comes to hiring. And SmartRecruiters is not just following that, but riding that wave with some of the new features they've released around Winston, SmartOS. The high volume hiring capabilities there are pretty incredible. Kudos to the team.
And to see an organization who represents well over 2,000 clients actually take, it's not really a risk, just take the leap and actually get into it. I have to give it to SmartRecruiters, leadership at SmartRecruiters, product to Ron, Mikhail over at SmartRecruiters, those guys doubling down and obviously getting behind it as well. So we're excited to see what happens.
You built something game-changing here, and honestly, I think it's about time that we had our iPhone moment in talent acquisition. So I'm really proud to help support this launch. I'm really excited to see what SmartRecruiters has next, and I'm really excited for June 10th, so let's go get it.
If it comes to celebrating the death of the ATS, I am down. So congratulations, SmartRecruiters, congratulations, Winston, and June 10th is already marked in my calendar.
To kick things off, let's show you how we've reimagined the configuration of the hiring platform itself. starting with SmartOS, our new orchestration and intelligent layer that powers everything you're about to see. This is where it all begins. Not just with a better interface, but with a smarter system architecture designed to connect data, workflows, and users in a way that adapt to your organization, not the other way around. To walk through it with me, I'm excited to welcome someone who's been at the center of bringing this to life to our customers. Please join me in welcoming Amy Oxley from our Global Center of Excellence. Amy, let's show them what SmartOS makes possible when configuration finally meets intelligence.
Yes. So let's start with what we're hearing from TA leaders. The process is just too complex. There's roles in one system, approvals in another, interview data in a spreadsheet somewhere else. It's like a treasure hunt with no map.
Exactly. For too long, hiring has been a patchwork of tools, vendors, and workarounds. And when something breaks, it's TAs that end up holding the pieces with Dutch tape.
And it's not just frustrating, it's actually unsustainable. We've spoken to teams who spend hours just explaining their tech stack to hiring managers, let alone getting them to use it without calling for help every 5 minutes.
That's why we built SmartOS, not as another tool, but as an operating model, one platform, connected, intelligence, and built for how hiring actually works today, not how it works in 2005.
But seriously, Sharan, there are so many vendors out there. Everyone says they're the one platform to rule them all. What actually makes SmartOS different?
Because it's not a bolt-on. It's the foundation. SmartOS replaces the fragmented stack. It adapts to your hiring structure, your workflows, your goals. And right at the core, it's our Winston, our embedded intelligence, always learning and orchestrating in real time.
Okay, but there's one common problem: control. TA leaders are constantly saying that their hiring managers are either seeing way too much or not enough.
We've heard that loud and clear. So SmartOS includes a built-in AI control hub. You define who sees what, when, and where. No more IT tickets, just to hide a button or lock a tab.
Let's talk workflows then. There is some real chaos out there. There's different countries, brands, departments, and automation, well, that's a whole nother headache.
SmartOS brings order to all that, Amy. You can configure workflows by region, brand, or business unit, all drag and drop. No duplicating jobs or emailing PDFs around to explain how your own process works. Just clean, visual, scalable structure.
And scheduling, Sharan, you know this one is a heartbreaker. It's where so many great candidates drop off, or worse, no-shows become something that got missed.
Exactly. That's why SmartOS makes scheduling not just easier, but smarter. It's fully embedded, no integration needed, and kicks in automatically when a candidate reaches the interview stage. It pulls from preset templates tied to a job, so whether it's a three-round panel or a single phone screen, everything's structured and ready to go.
But what about reminders, Sharan? Because they're also important.
Those go out automatically too, Amy. Emails, calendar invites, even SMS, if it's enabled. You don't need to manually chase anyone.
Okay, that's cool. But how do we handle interviewer preferences? Some people only want to do interviews after 3 p.m., others are gone by lunch. Usually when we speak to customers, this means that they need a specific interview scheduling vendor added into their tech stack.
Well, not with SmartOS, Amy. That's built in too. Interviewers can set their own availability inside SmartOS, and the system only shows slots that match. It respects preferences without creating bottlenecks.
So the process is guided, it's automated, and still personalized, all while keeping recruiters and hiring managers in sync.
Exactly. It's interview scheduling that actually works for anyone involved. No more patchwork, no more vendor spiral, just one platform, one foundation, the power of one. Smooth, scalable, SmartOS.
Shefali, before we even meet Winston, can we just acknowledge one thing? The candidate experience today is still kind of a mess.
Yeah, absolutely. And the impact isn't just for candidates. It's for recruiters and hiring managers that are dealing with disconnected apply flows, systems that don't talk to each other, and no visibility into what candidates are actually doing.
And somehow, the technology that was supposed to help just adds more tabs and more admin.
Exactly. And that's why we built Winston Chat, our first Winston product to rethink how the journey starts.
This is Winston, right on the career site, and there's no extra login and no app download.
Yep, Winston is the engagement layer, always on, responsive, and powered by large language models, so it actually understands what candidates are asking.
Okay, let's test that. Say I'm a candidate and I want to learn more about the company. Let's ask, does Smart Recruiters offer flexible working?
Yeah, so notice how Winston doesn't just pull a paragraph from the website. It gives curated, content-driven human answers using our tone of voice, all in one screen without having to navigate away.
This is going to save recruiters tons of hours not answering FAQs throughout the whole hiring process. But what if the candidate goes off-piste a little and asks Winston a controversial topic, like does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yep, there it goes. You'll see it said it's a saucy question. So Winston gives you a natural response, and that's where the LLM comes in. It's pretty natural. It gives a fun, friendly, and response that always moves the conversation forward.
I love it. There's almost no end to a chat with Winston. Let's say I'm sold and I want to apply for a job and I'm based in New York. How does Winston help?
Yeah, Winston personalizes your job search journey based on your location and your previous answers. It uses SmartOS logic behind the scenes, so it's always relevant.
Cool, so let's apply for this retail associate role. And Shefali, this seems like a pretty robust journey. The candidates are going on with lots of content, jobs, and it's personalized. What's the lift on our TA and implementation teams to activate Winston?
Yeah, so because Winston doesn't rely on decision trees, the lift is actually pretty light to get going. Winston simply needs to know where the knowledge base is to learn the content, the brand, and tone of voice to quickly adapt.
Oh, sorry, Shefali, I've got a text, and that's from Winston. He's given me a nudge that I didn't complete the application, and I guess this is what actually happens, right? You get distracted, or they drop off, or you might get a call.
All the time. And recruiters end up losing out on quality candidates that have already invested their time into getting to know the company. So now Winston bridges that gap. It doesn't lose context, and candidates don't need to start over. And notice, Amy, how you started from desktop, and now you're on mobile.
If I was a candidate, I'd be impressed. So let's pick back up. Winston's asking if I have the right to work in the US and for an example of my customer service experience.
Yeah, and that's because those questions are tied to the job profile in SmartOS. Winston also knows what to do next with your application, whether you've passed or failed the initial screening.
Well, Winston's messaged me asking for me to choose a time of an interview, so I guess I'm on his good side.
Yep, and there's no follow-ups, no email chains, just a seamless handoff from apply to interview.
I can see the efficiency gains here and the impact that this is going to have on recruiters and candidates. But Shefali, I've got to ask, isn't this just another chatbot?
No. Winston Chat is an engagement layer of SmartOS. It injects intelligence, context, and action right from the first click, and it never breaks the flow. It's not just answering questions, it's guiding the entire experience. And more importantly, it's actually helpful to recruiters and hiring managers too, because they know that by the time someone reaches them, they're informed, engaged, and ready. From random job boards and broken forms to this, a candidate journey that's connected, conversational, and smart from the start.
Welcome to Winston Chat.
And so I'm very excited to see the ways in which Winston is really helping to meet the needs of those hiring managers with scheduling, ease, with consideration around job recs. I'm excited to see the ways in which Smart Recruiters is really tackling that issue and giving something to the hiring manager to let us on the TA side of things not be so annoying. Super excited. Thanks, Smart Recruiters.
Anytime you have an organization with committed individuals who are nose down, attempting to ideate, tapping the marketplace to get their input on direction, on service offering, tweaking, calibrating, you tend to celebrate that, and rooting for every single individual over at Smart Recruiters. They are under great leadership.
This company has always cared fundamentally of improving the talent acquisition profession, helping recruiters do their jobs better, and be more effective at being able to be strategic business partners rather than just like tactical coordinators. That's always been the DNA of the company. Fundamentally, it's good technology that works well, incorporates all of the legacy assets that made Smart Recruiters category leader, and then takes it to the next step. And I would venture to say, for me, the surprise is this. It would be good tech even if it wasn't in recruiting. The fact that it is makes Winston grow.
I did not like scheduling interviews. I did not like trying to find who is the right resume, who should I be calling first. And that's why it's a really exciting day, because Winston is going to solve that. And this might be the end of the ATS era. And for one, pretty darn excited about that. So kudos to you, Smart Recruiters.
We've shown you the new configuration. We've shown you how design turns that configuration into something powerful and usable. Now, let's talk about what it feels like when it all comes together, when recruiting AI does what it meant to do: screen talent faster, match smarter, and move with confidence. This next demo, focusing on screen and match, one of the most time-consuming and high-impact parts of the hiring process. And rather than just show you ourselves, we wanted to bring in someone who lives this work every day. Joining Amy is one of our recruiters from our global customers. They're here to show you what screen and match look like in a real-world setting and how it's transforming their teams day to day.
Let's face it, recruiting today is a volume game. There are more roles, more applications, and more pressure than ever. But the problem isn't just volume, it's what recruiters are missing out on because of it. There's less time for strategy, less time to prep great candidates, and no space to build pipelines or partner with hiring managers. And that's the part that actually makes recruiting feel meaningful.
Exactly. I got 300 applications for this one job, 4 others open, a hiring manager chasing me for feedback. I want to be prepping top talent for interviews, not buried under a pile of profiles I haven't time to sort.
I totally get it. So let's take this job with 500 candidates on it and see what Winston Match can do. Winston instantly reviews every application and gives us a match score from 1 to 4, based on real skills, their seniority, experience, and even inferred capabilities.
All right, but match scores aren't new. What's the difference?
Good question. Winston is powered by multiple AI models trained on billions of hiring signals. It's not just scanning for buzzwords, it's actually understanding what makes someone a great fit for this specific role based on your job data. So you're not guessing or filtering, you're starting with candidates that truly stand out.
Okay, so I have narrowed the list, but I still have hundreds of people to screen across all my open roles.
Right. But that's where Winston's Screen comes in. It's like your personal screening assistant. It sends out tailored questions like right to work, availability, and job-specific experience, and then ranks the responses for you.
Wait, so Winston is essentially doing my screening call for me?
Exactly. And the responses are structured and ranked. So instead of reading every single profile, you jump straight to your top matches.
All right. But scheduling is still a pain. It takes part of my all afternoon.
So let's fix that too. Winston picks up the top match candidates and the top screen candidates, and then auto-schedules interviews based on the preferences set in the job. The candidate picks a time, and it's booked. You don't even need to touch the profile.
That's awesome for high volume. But what about strategic or niche roles where great candidates don't always check every box?
This is where Winston gets really smart. It doesn't just rely on matching exact phrases. It infers skills from context. Whether you've managed a warehouse for 5 years, Winston knows that means leadership, logistics, and operations, even if it's not spelled out. So you're not just filling seats faster, you're finding the right people, even in the hard-to-hire spots. And now, instead of spending your time buried in admin, you're spending it with your best candidates, helping them shine and moving your hiring forward.
I finally have space to think again. I can focus on what actually matters and feel like I'm making an impact.
And this isn't AI replacing recruiters. It's AI unlocking them so they can lead, build stronger teams, and show up as the best version of themselves. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited for you to get your hands on Winston. We've spoken a lot today about our candidates and also recruiters. But Shefali, let's talk about our hiring managers. They're not recruiters, they're leaders trying to run teams. They hit targets, manage operations, but they're constantly being pulled into hiring processes that feel unfamiliar and overly complicated.
Yeah, they're expected to jump into systems, leave feedback, review CVs, schedule interviews, often from their phone, in between meetings, during a shift. It's no wonder they become a bottleneck.
And when the hiring slows down, recruiters feel it first. They're chasing down feedback, nudging for next steps. But the reality is the tools we've given managers weren't really built for how they work.
Yeah, and that's where Winston Companion comes in. It's the first of its kind assistant that lives inside the hiring journey, built specifically for hiring managers and recruiters to work smarter together.
Whether it's on your mobile or desktop, Winston Companion is always there, nudging when needed, summarizing when helpful, and guiding managers to take action in the simplest way possible.
So let's show what that actually looks like. Right now, we're on the go, and Winston Companion pings on your mobile. How can I help you today?
All the manager has to do is respond naturally. Let's say, can we schedule interviews for my sales assistant role? No drop-downs and no navigating menus.
Yep. Winston understands the request, checks the job setup, pulls the latest availability from qualified candidates, and handles interview scheduling. No back and forth with recruiters. The manager reviews and confirms, and it's done.
And it's not just about speed and clarity. Winston surfaces the top candidates based on match scores and screen responses. So managers aren't wasting time, they're reviewing every profile and they see the best first.
Exactly. This is support, not just automation. Winston doesn't take the decision away, it makes the decision easier.
Now, let's say that the interviews are done, Shefali. Winston's gonna send a quick prompt saying, are we ready to share feedback?
So the feedback becomes quick, clear, and actionable. No more, sorry, I forgot who this candidate was. It's all right there, ready to confirm or tweak. Winston supports action, not admin. It helps managers be decisive and not distracted.
And to round it all off, Winston Companion keeps hiring managers in the loop from the full journey, from application right through to offer.
Yeah, so Amy, here's one more example. Once the candidate signs and the start date is locked in, Winston sends an SMS straight to the manager with the confirmation.
Your new hire starts on Monday. Just like that. There's no chasing, there's no guessing, and managers are always in the know.
Managers don't have to learn a system. They don't have to log in or dig through resumes. They just respond, and Winston does the rest.
They move faster, they give better feedback, and they stop being blockers in the process. Companion gives them confidence and gives recruiters their time back too. This is more than just smarter hiring. It's hiring that actually fits into real life, on the floor, in the field, or even at HQ.
Winston Companion is the first of its kind, built to serve both recruiters and hiring managers, wherever they are, and truly unlike anything else in the market.
Smart Recruiters and EcoVadis have a long-standing partnership, and it's exciting to see the launch of Winston, which puts human-centric AI and automation at the heart of hiring success. It gives us recruiters more time to do what we do best, engaging with talent and hiring managers.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Winston AI Companion can level up Frasers Group talent acquisition goals this year.
At Domino's, we're always thinking about the best digital experiences, both for our consumers, but also for our candidates, recruiters, and hiring managers. We're excited to see how Winston can help bring cutting-edge technology and cutting-edge experiences into an already solid core ATS, allowing candidates to apply more easily, with a better experience, and allowing our recruiters and hiring managers to be as efficient as possible. We think that Just like consumers, candidates, recruiters, hiring managers have all come to expect more from technology experiences. And we're excited to see whether Winston is a suite of tools that allows us to simplify our technology stack in the hiring space and operate with fewer add-on solutions.
What we're most looking forward to with Winston is how it can help make the candidate experience at Colliers even better, boost efficiency, and enable our talent acquisition teams to focus on the human side of hiring. We're really excited to see how Winston can help support us doing what we do best, connecting with people.
We've shown you how we rebuild the platform, from the configuration and experience layer to the intelligence that drive it. But transforming how hiring works doesn't stop at the product. It also means transforming how it's packaged, priced, and brought to market. Because let's be honest, buying recruitment technology has been anything but simple. And we knew that if we want to lead a new era of hiring, we couldn't just build a better system. We had to make it easier to adopt, easier to scale, and easier to own. So we took a fresh look at everything, what companies need, how they grow, and how we could support that with a transparency and flexibility, not complexity. To walk you through the work we've done and thinking behind it, please welcome our Chief Marketing Officer, Steve Hardy.
Thank you, Sharon. So let's have a real conversation about numbers. We spent some time showing you the future of hiring, how we're reimagining experiences, embedding intelligence and powerful configuration. And here's the thing, none of that matters if it's hard to buy, if pricing is vague, if the model is too rigid, if scaling up feels like an interrogation or a negotiation, not a strategy. For too long, buying software in this space has meant sifting through confusing tiers, guessing at license models, and hoping that you're not overpaying. So we took a long, hard look at the way that recruiting technology has been sold for the last 2 decades and spent hundreds of hours listening to our customers and decided to build something better, simpler, clearer, and more aligned to the way that companies actually hire. Customers told us, we love the platform, but we don't always know what we're getting or what it'll cost us when we grow. And they were right. It was a broken experience. So here's what we're rolling out. A modern pricing and packaging model that's designed to be simple to understand, easy to scale, and grounded in real hiring needs. We've created 4 packages, each aligned to the different ways that companies hire. Essential for teams that are building a foundation in hiring. Professional for growing orgs with structured hiring needs, such as white-collar workers, and then high volume, built for businesses with frontline workers and hourly recruiting. And then finally, complete for enterprises with global needs across every type of role on a global scale. Each package starts with SmartOS, our intelligent talent operating system. And from there, it's modular. You add what you need when you need it. You want deeper visibility? Add Smart Analytics. Need powerful branded candidate experiences? Add Smart Career Sites. Everything is designed to plug in cleanly. No messy bundles, no guesswork. We also rethought the pricing logic itself. Instead of tying everything to licenses or vague usage metrics, we grounded it in 2 simple, transparent inputs. The number of employees that you have today and the number of hires that you plan to make. That's it. When you grow, the model grows with you. If things slow down, you haven't overcommitted. You stay in control. And because every business runs on a different rhythm, we've built in 3 billing options. Full prepay, simple and predictable. Prepay with some usage for teams that need some extra flexibility. And prepay with more usage, ideal for seasonal or high fluctuation hiring. You choose what works best based on how you actually operate. And this just isn't a reconfigured invoice, it's a strategic decision on our behalf, and it reflects how we think about modern software should work. Simple to buy, simple to use, simple to grow. It gives customers clarity. It gives finance and procurement peace of mind. And it gives talent leaders the flexibility to grow without any friction. And that's what we believe the next era of talent hiring and technology should look like. Thanks for spending this time with us. And now let's keep building what's next.
Okay, it's time. For months, we've been designing, testing, refining, and rebuilding, not just to ship something great, but to launch something meaningful. And we've not done it alone. This moment was made possible by Smartians teams around the world here. In Krakow, San Francisco, London, Sydney, Paris, New York, and beyond. So before we go live, we need to check in with Mission Control. Let's see who's ready. San Francisco, Krakow, London, New York, Paris, Berlin, Sydney. Sounds like we're ready. Then, let's launch it.
Let's launch it.
From Times Square to Tokyo, from Sydney Harbor to the street of Paris, Winston is going live. This is the moment the world hired differently, because this isn't just a new feature, it's a new foundation built by real teams for real hiring everywhere. I've spent most of my career building technology, and I'll be honest, I love it. The complexity, the challenge, the elegance of making something work, that's always been the thrill. But that's not why we build this. We build this for people, not users, not headcount, people. People like your son looking for his first job, your neighbor who just got laid off, the barista who deserves a shot at something better, the recruiter who's drawing in racks, the hiring managers who wants to do the right thing but doesn't know where to start. That's who this is for. So Winston, let's get to work. That moment, that's the point.
Today, you didn't just see a product launch. You saw what's possible when hiring gets rebuilt from the ground up, with AI at the core and real people at the center. Winston isn't a feature, it's the future, and it's live. So before we wrap, I want to say a few thank yous. To those of you who are joining us live from around the world, thank you for showing up and sharing this moment with us. And to our incredible global Smartian team, thank you for bringing the energy, the belief, and the hustle from every time zone. To our customers, well, thank you for trusting us, challenging us, and bringing the future of hiring alongside us. And of course, a personal thank you to Sharon, Amy, Shefali, and Steve for helping bring this vision to life today. So, what's next, you ask? Well, here you go. It's time to book a demo. See Winston in action and explore how it fits your team's reality. Visit our website. Everything you saw today is live and waiting for you. Check out our YouTube channel. Watch and share product videos with your team, your leaders, and your stakeholders. Come see us in person. We're going to be everywhere hiring happens, from HR Tech to RecFest to Unleash World, and dozens of stops in between. So scan that code on the screen, or head to smartrecruiters.com/Winston to get started. Winston is live, and the future of hiring is now.